I'm going to do 1 second example that has some trig in it, just to go over something where we have multiple maximums or minimums. And again, I'm going to do another book example because they have some good ones for this. F of x equals 2 sine x minus cosine of 2x on 0 to pi. And again, we're trying to find the extrema. So we're finding the absolute maximum and the absolute minimum. So first step, we want to find those critical points, and that's going to be when we set the derivative equal to 0. So f prime of x, that will be 2 cosine x minus, now this is going to be a chain rule. We do Robert's method. A is 2x, b is cosine of a prime is 2, b prime will then be negative sine a, which is negative sine 2x. We'll multiply those together. So this will be negative 2 sine 2x. So minus negative 2 sine of 2x. And then we'll get 2 cosine of x plus 2 sine of 2x. And we're going to say that that's going to be equal to 0. Okay. Now, this part's a little bit tricky, but what we want to think about is, in this case, sine of 2x. If you want to solve for this, this one's cosine of x, this one's sine of 2x. This one's tricky, and you kind of need to think back to some of your trig rules. And one of your trig rules was that sine of 2x is equal to 2 sine x cosine x. And this is just something we're going to need to work on memorizing. So this would be 2 cosine x plus 2 times 2 sine x, right, this first 2, would be 4 sine x cosine x. So I replace sine 2x with 2 sine x cosine x equals 0. And now I can factor out a 2 cosine x. That would be 1 plus 2 sine x. And this just makes it a little bit easier to solve. Now, honestly, something like this, you're going to have a calculator on. And I'll show you later how to use your calculator to solve for this or graph it. So if you're not comfortable with how I solved it, we'll get there. So we're going to set cosine x equal to 0. And then we'll set, right, we solve for 1 plus 2 sine x equals 0. So sine x equals negative 1/2. And then when we solve that, from this point on the left, right, if we make a unit circle, that's 0. Sorry, that's 1, 0, 0, 1, negative 1, 0, and 0, negative 1. And these 2 points are where cosine is equal to 0, and that was at pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. So here x equals pi over 2, or 3 pi over 2. Now with sine x equals negative 1/2, we have to remember all students take calculus. So negative is going to be in these bottom 2 quadrants, right? All students take calculus. So when sine's negative, it's going to be over here or over here. And then if you remember your table, it's going to be at the, something pi over 6 values. And this was pi over 6, 5 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6, and 11 pi over 6. So for this, we would get x equals 7 pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6. Again, this is a more complicated question, but I just wanted to do one really tricky one. So now we're going to check our endpoints and all those critical points. So we'll have f of 0, f of pi over 2, f of 7 pi over 6, f of 3 pi over 2, f of 11 pi over 6, and finally the last endpoint was f of 2 pi. So this is one of those cases where you do have quite a lot of critical values, and then those are our endpoints. And remember, the original was f of x equals 2 sine x minus cosine of 2x, and when we plug in 0 to that, we get -1. When we plug in pi over 2, we get -3/2. This would be a question where having a calculator would make it much faster. 7 pi over 6 is again -1. 7 pi over 6 was, I'm getting ahead of myself, I actually messed this up. Okay, f of 0 is -1, f of pi over 2 gives us 3 on our calculator, then 7 pi over 6 is -3/2, 3 pi over 2 gives us -1, 11 pi over 6 gives us -3/2, and 2 pi gives us -1. Now we're looking for the extreme values, which 3 will be our maximum, so that maximum point would be pi over 2, 3. And now you notice we have 2 minimums, so the minimum points will be 7 pi over 6, -3/2, and we'll also have 11 pi over 6, -3 pi over 2. So that was a tricky one, but that's something kind of that we can work towards getting to. And once we really start using our calculators and figuring out how to use them to their full potential, this question will be actually really, really easy, because our calculator will solve almost the whole thing for us. Alright guys, have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow.